Good morning, everyone. Now, I know I'm on here a little bit earlier than normal. Schedules are kind of crazy the next few weeks, so just bear with me. So, this week, I got a couple things, topics of these lives. It's something that I have had to deal with. Good morning. No, the Instagram is going to be this afternoon or in the evening because my work schedule has changed for the next few weeks. I completely forgot about it. So I'm going to do YouTube in the morning, I think, and then do Instagram in the evening. See how that works for a few weeks. But a lot of times when I come up with these topics, it's things that have happened to me in like throughout the past week or like either at work. So I work at a public aquarium, but also things that have happened to me at home in my tanks here. So phosphates. And I know I've talked to you guys about this before, but I've got some phosphate issues in the coral tank that I take care of at work. I've got phosphate issues in my nano reef. I assume I've got phosphate issues. I'm not sure. I haven't tested it yet, but I've got algae growing crazy on the glass. I've got like even my little snail has got some hair algae growing on its snail, so I kind of want to nip that in the bud. I want to get it stopped. I don't want to have to clean my glass every single day. You guys, that's so annoying. Like that's the number one issue why I'm frustrated is I hate cleaning the glass. I want to see my corals, and I'm tired of cleaning the glass. So, hence my little magic eraser. I don't know, like, have you guys ever used magic erasers? These are awesome. I'm waiting for a new glass cleaner to come in for my nano tank. The one I got is good, but it doesn't get that heavy duty algae off that I'm complaining about. Chris says, mine are currently out of control. I think it's the water here in Vegas. You know, I'm wondering if it might be the water in Vegas because the coral tank at work, it's got GFO on it. I just replaced the GFO. I just replaced the carbon. It's got brand new lights, like the whole 9 yards. So, and like we all kind of take turns feeding the tanks at work. And I've told my coworkers, I'm like, you guys got to cut way back on feeding. Like, don't overdo it. And it's still like, I tested my phosphates last week. They were 0.82, and I did a huge water change, and they were 0.81. So yeah, that's where phosphates are that I'm dealing with. I'm afraid to test the ones at home, but I imagine that they're nice and high too. So let's see. I'm afraid to use a magic eraser. So this is the original magic eraser. You can't get any of the new ones. I wish I don't still have the box. It's the one that comes in the blue box. They're reef safe. I don't know what they're made out of, but these suckers work like a charm. They're amazing. Only thing is, like, to clean, like, I have to put my whole arm in the nano tank, and I really don't like putting fingers, arms, hands, whatever, inside the nano tank or any reef tank. So that's the only downside of these. But in a pinch, they work really, really well. You just got to be careful when you press. Like, they do kind of. It's easy to break them apart, but they don't harm or hurt anything. I've been using them for years, and I was skeptical at first. I'm like, no way those will work. But oh, shoot, I lost my little piece of paper. So my high range henna is maxed out. Yeah, okay. I wasn't expecting ours to be that high, but when I tested it, I did a 35% water change, and that sucker was still at 0.81. Something's up. Anywho, I got my big coffee mug today because mermaids need coffee too, and since I've got to go to work after this is bringing out the big guns today. All right, so because of that, I did want to talk about phosphates. I know we've talked about what causes them in the past. So if you've got, if you're feeding a lot, that can cause high phosphates. Bad lights, too much light, that can cause phosphate issues. Not doing enough water changes, that can cause high phosphates. So there's a number of reasons that cause high phosphates, but I was looking into some things that I can do. Now, obviously GFO is going to bind with the phosphate and you can pull it out. So there's GFO, there's a couple products on the market. ChemiPure is out there. That's usually what I used in the past, but I've been doing some reading and I've learned about lanthanum chloride. So that will also bind with the phosphate and cause it to flocculate out. So it'll create like little chunky particles that will get caught up in your filter sock or in your filter floss, and you can just remove it. Ultimately though, you still need to be figuring out what the cause of your phosphate is, because that's just going to put a band-aid on it as opposed to solving the actual problem. Let's see, I got a comment. C-chem pads can be held. Oh, interesting. You know, I would. Let's see if I can show you guys. Take some effort to do this one-handed. This is my handy dandy mag float. I imagine I could probably put a. I completely just blanked. A magic eraser in between this. But the scraper glass cleaner that I have on the nano tank, I've got a video of it. It's really cute and it's decorative and it looks exactly like Frank, but it doesn't have the scrubbing power that I hoped it would. So that's why I need something a little bit more heavy duty. And I have talked to some companies that are going to be at Reefapalooza in a couple weeks. So I've got that on I've got a whole list of things that I'm going to do at Reefapalooza. It's amazing, but you need a 10 micron sock. Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm still learning. This is the first time I'm actually dealing with phosphate issues at home. Yeah, I think I had some phosphate issues like in the beginning when I first started up my tank, but I was overfeeding like mad crazy, and since then I've cut way back on feeding, so I shouldn't have that many issues. Man, I can't talk this morning. Let's see. Yes, I'm super excited for Reefapalooza. I've got my whole list. Chris, I was like, man, I need to meet up with Chris before I go to Reefapalooza, but I don't, like, time-wise, I don't know how we're gonna fit it in the schedule. But if you're free, let me know between now and then. Maybe we can meet up. Let's see. Oh, so phosphates aside, shows aside, this guy scared me to death this weekend. So you guys have seen the giant hermit crab, right? So I had given the giant hermit crab a chunky piece of food to eat, because like the fish and all the other hermit crabs, they just steal everything so fast. So I was like, all right, I'll give him a chunk of food. Usually he takes it, kind of pulls it inside, and like hunkers down somewhere. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. So usually he'll take it and hunker down somewhere. Well, I'm watching TV the other night and I hear this clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm like, what is that noise? I come out and Frank is trying to steal the food. The crab has gotten a hold of Frank, who's trying to steal the food, and the two of them are stuck in the corner of the tank. Frank can't get out. The hermit crab will not let go because Frank is trying to steal his food. When I walked in, I thought I was about to see Frank being torn apart by a giant hermit crab. So, needless to say, hermit crab is now in the quarantine tank, which is medication-free, has been for some time now. I acclimated him to there, but I probably will need to find him a new home because it's not safe to keep him in with Frank. I think the hermit crab would leave Frank alone, but Frank will not leave him alone, especially if there's food involved. 7 or scavenging bacteria. Ooh, interesting. Very cool. Yeah, that's so you mentioned a couple different types of phosphate remover, and that's one of the things that I wanted to do at Reefapalooza. So I know that Reefapalooza and MACNA as well, there's going to be a whole bunch of different companies there that have their products. I think Brightwell Aquatics was there last year. So I really want to go and talk to them in person and see, have them tell me about their products, what each of them does, what makes theirs better than, somebody else's. And then hopefully by the end of the show, decide, pick one, and give that a go. Now, I've been talking about Reefapalooza only because that's in less than 13 days. Yay! I can't wait. But that's not the only show in the month. So at the very end of the month is MACNA. Now, MACNA is an amazing show. It's my first fish trade show. This year it's going to be in Orlando, so if you're a Disney fan, it's a perfect excuse. Like, get your family, go to Disney, go to MACNA, go to Disney again. It's going to be a good time. But they have been releasing some of their guest speakers throughout the thing, and I made a quick little list of them right here. I'm going to read off some of them because I'm getting excited. Like, this, normally I'm just like, oh man, show season, it's like such a stressful, fast time. But I'm really excited because there's a bunch of amazing presentations, it sounds like, and I definitely want to go check them out. On Instagram, we follow Something Fishy Inc. They are going to be hosting a workshop on how to frag corals. So if you guys don't know how to frag corals and you want to learn, definitely make sure to check out their workshop. I don't remember the exact time or day, but they posted it for me, so definitely go check that out. Now, there's a huge lineup of guest speakers for MACNA, so I'm just going to run down a few of them. This year's theme at MACNA is aquaculture in the aquarium industry. So most of the talks, or a lot of these talks, are geared towards aquaculture and the hobby. So Alyssa Gabriel, it's Alyssa Seahorse Savvy, so she breeds and aquaculture seahorses. Hey, just my fish, welcome. It's been a while. So she's going to be Alyssa Gabriel is going to be giving a talk about seahorses. Colin Ford, he aquacultures rock flower anemones I believe in the Caribbean, so he's going to be giving a talk about those. That sounds amazing. Matt Peterson, meeting aquaculture needs with respect to local fish stores. So that one really intrigued me because yes, there are a lot of fish stores that are able to bring in those aquacultured species, but there's still such a huge gap of species that aren't available that are very popular in the aquarium trade. And he has actually been able to successfully captive breed several species on his own, so I think that would be a good talk. Todd Harmon is going to be talking about using science to determine the well-being and the health of your fish. So I thought that might be kind of interesting. Richard Ross, he's going to be giving a talk about coral spawning. I think that should be cool. I'm not sure on the specifics because I just pulled it off the Instagram post, but I believe it's coral spawning in your home aquarium. So I'm sure some of you, if you've been in the hobby for long enough, especially if you're keeping reef tanks, you probably have had corals spawn and reproduce. So I've seen mushrooms. I wouldn't really call that spawning. I feel like my mushroom has just moved and left parts of his foot on the rocks that have in turn popped up new mushrooms, but still I think that might be an interesting talk to go to. So that wraps up the few that I picked out, but if you're interested, I think you can go to MACNA's website or their Instagram page or their Facebook page, and all of that information is there, as well as the dates and the times and the rooms, I believe, for all of those presentations. So definitely check that out if you are heading to MACNA. Just my fish. I've been taking a break from YouTube. It's understandable. It can be very, very overwhelming. Okay, I see you're on it. Yes, yes. MACNA Instagram is a must follow. Yes, they're pretty good. I don't want to use the word spam, but they spam you with everything that you want to know. They have all of the details and all of the information. It's a very good, very informational Instagram page. So definitely, if you're going to MACNA, or if you're trying to decide if you want to go to MACNA, check out their Instagram page. Oh, hi Frank. Hi Frank. I'm telling you guys, scared me to death. But he at first, when it first happened, I was like seeing scratches on him and stuff. No, he came out completely unfazed. Like, I was more shaken up than he was after getting into the fight with the hermit crab. But I wouldn't be surprised if the same sort of fight is what got him his little crooked horn. Let's see. I just ordered a 5-pack selection of vanilla food. Yay! Thank you so much. Do you know which ones you got? Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you watch Frank for just a minute. I've got to show you what new exciting stuff came in the mail. All right, I'm back. Were you entertaining, Frank? Is it food? Okay, so the sticker game is strong right now. I told you I was going to get some new life stickers. Those are still in the work in progress, but I think Chris, at least you are a fan or following my Instagram personal blog. Check it out, guys. I got some stickers this weekend. If you probably have seen my little dang cute fish mug I usually have on here, but dang cute fish helped me to design some stickers for Waterlogged, so she even captured his cute little bent horn. So I'm pretty excited about those stickers. Let's see. All right, let's see. Cichlid Gold, large cichlid formula. Ooh, man, you got a whole awesome selection. That's great. That is great. You know, it's funny, like if you don't use the gel on a regular basis, some people are like, oh, you know, I wouldn't need the gel. But so I mentioned earlier that Frank kind of got in a fight with the giant hermit crab, and I was really thinking that I was going to have to medicate him, that he was all scratched up. He wasn't, but one thing when fish are sick, it's really important to get that medication started at the first signs of illness. And you can usually run to the store and pick up the medication, but not everybody has that gel food, so it's a great idea to keep some of that gel on hand. I have gel food, but it's all moved around. So not bad at all. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for getting some new Lex Spectrum. You gotta let me know how you like it and how your fish like it. I always tell people, tell me how you like it. Like, well, your fish really are the ones that should like it. Although one of the girls at the office, the headquarters office, she's got like a 9-year-old son, and one day he was bored, and he like taste tested some of the different foods. And yeah, she was giving us a rundown on like what they tasted like. Interesting. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Just My Fish. It was good seeing you. It's been a while. Chris, I need to meet up with you hopefully before Reefapalooza. We'll see if we can make that happen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you next week. We'll probably do the YouTube in the morning again next week as well, and then do Instagram in the evenings. See if we switch things up a little bit. All right, have a great week, guys.